Today is the first day of the rest of your life, collective. After today, nothing will remain the same. And that's because you're gaining access to some secret knowledge. It's going to move you from being moded to being a mogul, modus operandi. You're getting a playbook, you could say, that gives you a certain method to overcome a certain madness that's taken a hold of your life and has had you squandering your influence in quite a careless way. After you get your hands on this playbook, no longer will you be moded, but you will actually find yourself experiencing quite a turn of fortune, navigating certain obstacles on your course with an adeptness. It defies logic. At least that's what it will seem to those who see you passing them by as you make your way down the mountain. There's a certain mountain that you climbed. You got a viewpoint after you reached the top. You saw something you couldn't see before. You could only gain it from that bird's eye perspective. But once you saw it, once you read that story front to back, you recognized that it became a little repetitive. And now you're ready to seek out new vistas. But you know, once you climb up a mountain, there's always the descent, right? And I don't feel like you want to waste a lot of time getting on the new road here. I think that you're going to find the quickest, fastest route to go. And as you would on any good mogul course, when you're skiing down a mountain, you're going to have to freestyle it. This may be something that's sort of out of the box for you. You're used to having a plan. You're used to having all the answers. Well, there is a method. There is a method to the madness before you. It may feel like it's a little bit crazy, this road that's opening up before you. But I think you got what it takes to hit it out of the park. You had enough resilience, fortitude, stubbornness, goatishness to make it up the mountain in the first place. Did put a certain power in your hands. Whatever you cut off back there, it's allowing you to take a hold of the cosmic carrot that's dangling in front of you. Something that's always been out of reach is about to come into view for you. But there is certain information you need in order to cure what ails you. There is something you need to release. There's something that needs to go through a certain transformation in order to activate the empowerment that you will need in order to step into the role you're meant to play now. And it's a role that you've never even seen yourself stepping into, to be honest with you, but that's about to be illuminated for you. Soon you'll have a much different perspective about what is possible for you. There's a message coming in. Spirit is going to be taking on the form of different avatars, people who will cross your path. People you'll find yourself in communication with, strangers you bump into in curious ways, and the interactions illuminate something for you. You should view everybody who shows up on your path from this point forward as a mouthpiece of the divine itself. And they are going to give you information that will make you a mover and a shaker, that will have you turning old potentialities upside down so you can get a new view of what really is right side up. Whatever happens here, it's going to level you up, power you up, transform your reality in ways that you can't even expect right now. Let's see how this is going to come about. We got a quest energy that's opening up here. And it seems fitting. We do have a new moon just around the corner at the time I am recording this. But whenever you find this, today is the first day of the rest of your life. And you should view it as such. Whatever comes your way, even if it's something you claim to be familiar with, you should look at it as if you're seeing it with fresh eyes. You've never encountered this person before. You've never encountered this situation before because something is radically shifting in the view. Somebody took a filter off your reality tunnel. Spirit's about to take the filter off your reality tunnel. You're going to see things quite differently. And there is some playbook that's being put in your hands. It gives you a modus operandi, that of the mogul, that of the one who can freestyle around obstacles and get to the destination a lot faster than it was to try to climb up a steep hill. We also got a certain level of influence being put in your hands that you're meant to use wisely. And this is why you need the playbook, because there's some indication here that there's gaps in your understanding about how to best use your influence. So let's see what this is about. It's very, very interesting, this message coming through for the collective. Yes, first though, something needs to be released, and it's that view that you have on your reality tunnel. It's become a bit tainted. There needs to be a little bit more rebellion from what's become too comfortable here. It's time to move into the realm of greater possibility. The pressure of time, circumstance, the confines of the daily grind have made you a bit dull, and it's time to wake up the senses a bit with a fresh perspective here. Work with that energy of Pluto in Aquarius to stage a revolution in your own life. Let's see how this is going to come about. Working with the Arcane DS deck here. All right. Yes, I know what this card is. This is what you can't see right now. It's like Spirit's been trying to get your attention for a while. You've only had one perception of a situation of what's possible for you when really there's limitless possibility. See, you've had sort of tunnel vision and you don't recognize the way that you've narrowed down what's possible for you because, see, you were trying to get to the top of a particular mountain. You got to the top and it wasn't all it was cracked up to be. But what you don't recognize that was actually foundational. That climb was foundational to you stepping into a certain empowerment. And as you step into this empowerment, the doors of perception are going to fling wide open for you. And this is the moment when you're about to break on through to the other side. You, each person, each experience that crosses your path from now on as a stepping stone on your path that's giving you some kind of insight, some kind of information, some kind of revelation that helps you make the climb in a new way. In a way that as you come down that mountain and as you make your way through the moguls, you find that you are rooting something that will have lasting value in your life. Pyramids weren't built in a day, and this won't be built in a day either. This is something that unfolds over time. You've been in this place of indecision. After you got your view at the top of that mountain, you wondered what you climbed up it for in the first place. Well, you're about to find out, you see. First, Spirit had to test you. Did you have what it took to make the climb? Were you focused enough? Were you willing to pay that price of the toil and the effort just so you could get a certain perspective? So you could get beyond your own indecision. Ooh, your own decision. I went to say indecision, but it came out as decision. See, there's something you made up your mind about, but you don't recognize that the way that you sort of made up your mind about a certain situation, or it could be a certain person or what's possible for you is actually what's keeping you in this place of being divided. But that's what's being cleansed here, this decision that you made about the way something is. You're not going to be in this place where you're sort of like, well, let's just Rochambeau it. I don't know what I need to do. What's been missing is this essential piece of information that gives a method to the madness, that gets beyond that place of confusion, being pulled this way and that way. That is the madness. When you're able to find the way through this and that, well, then you really got something. And that's when you free your mind and you gain a different kind of perspective. Now we're cooking. Whatever comes through here, it makes moving forward a lot easier for you. You're not repeating old storylines. Oh, no. Now you got the secret sauce. And this secret sauce is just the beginning of what is about to take root in your life. It's moving you in the position of being a true mogul. We're talking kingship here. You're going to say, screw that view I was looking at before. There's something more I want. I've gotten over my BS, and now I know that even though it felt like I wasted my time on that back there, not really. Because it isn't unless I had that perspective that I would be willing to throw caution to the wind with what's coming toward me now. You know, you might have been disappointed at first when very stubbornly, like the goat, relentlessly and with great resilience, you made your way up that cliffside only to get to the top and feel like, this is not where I thought I would end up. But see, there's a lot of knowledge that you gained in that climb. And something became very rooted in you that is about to give you wings and carry you to new heights. Secret knowledge. Perhaps the first avatar you will be meeting is Queen of the Nagas. She's here to teach you how to cleanse the waters that have become polluted. The waters of the intuition, the waters of the emotion, the waterway, the way forward, the flow. Something has become more complicated. It's like trying to contain a flow that can't be contained. It's something that comes out more ecstatically. This is what you're going to discover here. Whatever you're coming into contact with here, this knowledge that's being activated for you, that's giving you this playbook, it's putting you in a position of power that allows you to give a finger to all the BS that's been holding you back. And it activates the potential of the stone of destiny. And where you thought time was working against you, you're going to find that you got Kala on your side. And something is just about to begin here. It is going to get a little weird. I'm not going to lie to you, right? This is not going to be your everyday affair. And you may feel like you don't really know where you're going. You may feel like you have to make it down that mountain, making your way around those moguls blindfolded, but you're not truly blindfolded. It's that something higher has taken a hold of your consciousness and is directing the course. It's like you're getting access to certain knowledge, certain information that's been latent within you that you weren't going to be granted access to until you proved that you could make the climb in the first place, to be even in the running. Do you see? There's no way you can be in the running to make it around these moguls and get down the hill to the other side, cross that finish line. No way you can even freestyle that until you make the climb first. And maybe you had to make the climb the hard way, but that was necessary. That was necessary for the potential of the power and influence that's going to be put in your hands. Queen of the Nagas. Nagas are very interesting spirits associated with serpent medicine. Now, Nagas can be very healing. One of the forms of a more healing Naga would be Kuan Yin, very compassionate, bodhisattva kind of energy. But Nagas can also be dangerous. And maybe that's something that you're first acquiring here. You need to be able to tell the difference. Tell the difference between what is a helpful influence and what is a dangerous influence. Something you might not be as aware of as you think you are. Something may have you using your influence in a way that it's not packing its ultimate punch, you know what I mean? And that's why the transformation is needed. But I feel like Queen of the Nagas, maybe you can't get this crown until you obtain it from a particular Naga. Well, you know, the only way you can find favor with the Nagas who rule over the waters is you need to purify those waters. You need to tend to the waters, okay? So there's a clue about how to open up this waterway to bring about the birth of this new beginning. Give some more details about this. So it looks like you're encountering spirit in the form of what could appear as a little bit of a slippery energy. Yeah, you better get ready to get up to bat for this, okay? Goat energy coming through very strongly here. You have power in your hands. Do you know how to use it wisely, though? This is key. This is key because you are going to be tested by a Queen of the Nagas. That's what I got. All right? Queen of the Nagas is here to teach you about transformation. It's going to come through, you know, these interactions you're having, and it's a shape-shifting form. So it's not like it's just relegated to one person here or one experience, but it's more the way that this influence is found in all of your life experiences from this point forward. This is why you need to get a different view here. What are these experiences teaching you about what you need to release, what you need to shed, where you need to let the scales fall from your eyes so you can see something with fresh sight? What are they teaching you about what you need to let go? What are they teaching you about what needs to be transformed so you can rise up from the roots and get those wings that have you taking flight? What is it shining a light on for you? These are the messages that are going to be coming through, that are going to be opening up the doors of perception for you, give you access to secret things that will become your secret sauce, your own special brand of magic that allows you to activate the Mogul within you. That place inside of you that can step into your true influence and empowerment that will make you a mover and shaker. Let's see. Give us more details about this, Spirit. Give us more details about this. There's something here that you've been nurturing for far too long with a woman. breastfeeding a VCR, it's really outdated. And it's almost like taking the same approach to something over and over and over and over and over again, doing it the most laborious way possible, knowing that it's not really doing it for you. It isn't what's turning you on. It's not what has you engaged. But you're just sort of like going along with it. And you keep trying the same thing, maybe, switching it up a little bit, altering your approach a little bit, but it's still staying too much in the safety zone here. So much so that it's become a bit of an ailment that needs to be addressed here. And there's only one way to address it. You got to get in the deep end with the wet pants. You got to get in the waterway. You got to get in the waterway. So you might have been trying to approach things from more of like an earthly perspective, right? You might have been focused more on structure, what's been sort of like standing in your life. You might have been approaching matters more from a Saturnian kind of mindset, like, well, this is responsible, or this makes sense, or this is what you do, this is what you do to gain influence. This is what you do to hit the mark. This is what you do to hit a home run. But it's not the way that opens up your way. You require a more innovative approach. You require a more freestyle approach. And yes, there's obstacles to that because that's not how the matrix is set up. And yet you got to figure out this new flow, right? And there's only one way to figure out the new flow. You just got to let yourself be in it. You got to jump all in. And I think that's what's happening here. You're being tossed into the waterway, and it's like sink or swim, because there's been too much time and energy spent on meaningless garbage. And it don't matter how many times you try to address this, you're always going to find yourself slipping if you continue to, head in this direction. Sink or swim. This is when you'll sink. Look, even the fish can't navigate this earthly way of moving forward. This isn't really what you should be aiming for, It's sort of like all the treasures of heaven and earth are within you, right? They're already within you. Nothing is to be obtained without, and it's only when it's obtained within that you see it reflected in your outer reality. And so you're gaining a means to achieve this in a really powerful way. And it's coming through rather unexpectedly through a text from the Queen of the Nagas. That's what I got. The Queen of the Naga. This is opening up the waterway for you. Crossing energy. Former child star. Yeah, see, there's a certain bridge that's being burned here. It's like some desire to have some kind of outer worldly recognition has been the main objective. And yet this isn't the way to get there, man. It's like time's up on that. The way is found within. And you're going to encounter somebody or something that's going to distract you from what you've been doing here, which is digging up the ghosts of regret. You've been living your life in retrospect. That's sort of how it's coming through. You've been living your life in retrospect, 24:44 on the clock. And because you've been living your life in retrospect, you keep manifesting a mocked up, maybe a little bit of a different spin version of the same old shit over and over and over again. And no matter how many times you rewind that movie and watch it again, it's the same storyline. It may be a different character, but it's the same storyline. And it's you playing the same role you've always played. You need something meatier to sink your teeth into. This role doesn't challenge you enough. You see, that's the thing with moguls too. It's like a mogul isn't made overnight. A mover and a shaker isn't made overnight. They got to get shaken up first. One doesn't gain influence staying in the comfort zone. That's not how that happens. And if one is looking to gain influence as far as the power they hold in the realms of wizardry, that's also not something you get overnight. And whatever way you've been calling in that new reality you want for yourself up till now, it ain't working. You need a new playbook. You need the Mogul Modus Operandi. And you're going to get your hands on that playbook. Someone's going to hand it to you. I feel like before you can get this information, I'm sort of seeing the crown, especially with the eye on the crown. It's like some kind of downloaded vision, downloaded knowledge that comes through an interaction you have. Before you can get that crown, before you can get access to that certain vision, that certain insight, that playbook, before you can open up that book of knowledge within you, you got to get it from the Queen of the Nagas, right? She's not going to give you that crown so easily. She's not going to give you that crown so easily. Roots with wings. Roots with wings. I'm almost seeing like the serpent with wings, right? The cosmic serpent. And then that makes me think of the Kundalini, you know? The Kundalini that activates the consciousness that gives way to the flights of fancy. It could even be some encounter you have with somebody is activating your Kundalini life force energy. Interesting. Maybe you wouldn't be ready for this meeting until you'd grown a spine. You know what I mean? It's like you had to get like some kind of resilience, some kind of fortitude, some kind of tenacity under your belt before you would even be up to bat for this. I feel like that's why you had to make a certain climb. And you may have thought that you were going for a particular objective, but you realized when you got to the top of that mountain that your reason for climbing was a lot different than you thought it was at first, or this is a revelation that's about to dawn on you. Give me some more details about this. This is a really interesting energy. Any more details about this before I do a cut the deck? Oh, quite quite a few things came out. Sort of like spirits coming through saying, yeah, you got a certain perspective here. You did get a certain insight, certain vision that you didn't have before. That all-seeing slice, though, is just a slice of the pie. There's a much bigger picture that you're not clued into. Not yet, at least. You will be, all right? You will be. See, you have no idea what's heading your way right now. no idea what's heading your way right now, because see, you may feel like there was some kind of futility in some great effort you made, trying to dig up an old ghost, trying to understand something from your past, trying to revisit an old storyline, replaying that same old movie over and over and over again in your head, rewinding it, playing it back again, seeing, is there something I missed along the way? And you began to realize that this sort of review is the very thing that's had you caught up here. You thought it was the way that was going to lead you to the future, but it was more the way to show you what needed to come to an end so you would understand what was in dire, dire need of transformation so the future could come into view. Yeah, you feel like you got a little bit duped, like, hey, you robbed me of time, energy, spirit, leading me down this track. I felt like this is what I was supposed to do. And it's like, yeah, you were. You were. You were meant to go up that mountain. You were meant to push that boulder up that mountain. It wasn't an exercise in futility. It was getting you ready for the Mogul. You had to explore all these other false callings to awaken within you what can truly have you pick up the scent of the trail of your true calling. And that's what you're about to figure out here. And it was only when you realized what truly was a worthless pursuit that offered nothing more to explore that you gained the power that allows you to hit the mark with the fun that is in store. There's a lot more fun in store for you. You're getting over a time of drudgery. You're getting over a time of doing things by the book. You're getting over a time of being content with just a slice of the pie in this subservient position of just accepting the little bit that wants to be doled out to you here because you put yourself in a box. Because you bought into this idea of this is all that's possible for me, or this is what this was about for me. It's almost like you haven't given yourself enough credit for the influence you do hold. But you're going to find out, Pie Night, you see. You got a certain perspective here at the top of the mountain. And you may feel like you just got a slice when you wanted the whole pie. But you're about to find that that slice is what gave you what you needed. That little window view is what gave you what you needed to be able to navigate what is opening up for you ahead, to freestyle around those obstacles with great speed that will find you at the end with what you were wanting right in the palm of your hands. Yes, we got orgy, okay? There's a lot of creative energy coming in here with big sexy Satan on the scene. This is the more hedonistic side of you opening up here. This is the part of you that is willing to question authority and also question what you've been told. What you've been told is holy, all right? Because there's a certain sacredness that's awakening within you that defies a certain story you were sold. And when this comes in, it's a creative activating point. It's going to set your consciousness on fire. Now, certainly it could be an ecstatic experience that comes about from an interaction you're having, from having this level of awareness as you're moving through your experiences and these different characters are crossing your path, that allows you to turn what was at one point an adversarial energy into an activating energy. Yes, an activating energy. It's interesting. Big sexy Satan right on the center of the body at the navel. Big sexy Satan's got a birthing portal there. This is the birth of your empowerment. And it also makes me think of the devil card in the tarot, which is about understanding that you were forged in the fire. You see, you went through some major testing here. You are tapping more into the futility of it. Like you feel like it was for nothing. Like I did all that for what? For nothing. No. No. You had to go through that. You had to be forged through the fire to be able to arrive at a certain truth that will prepare you for what you're about to bring into being now. There is a certain playbook that's going to be put in your hands as you navigate what would have been obstacles for you before with great efficiency and speed. You see, when you're climbing up a mountain and you don't really know the ropes and you don't know what you're going to find when you reach the summit, there's a lot of challenges you face along the way, but those challenges strengthen you. And it's information you put in your back pockets like, okay, now I know next time you don't do this, you do that. You need to have this in order to be prepared. And now you got all this insight. You see, it was also a little bit of a delay tactic. You had to be slowed down because if you would have reached where you wanted to go back then on your timeline, oh, it would have been a disaster. The trickster would have had their way with you. But now it's almost like you're gaining the medicine of the trickster. You see, you're understanding the ways that certain pursuits that may seem futile in the moment actually work to our advantage because there's something our higher consciousness is more tapped into that knows, no, we got to slow the roll a little bit. Like there's certain things we need to learn here. It's also how you've developed your playbook. But see, you won't understand that until you start seeing things more clearly. And there's certain people and experiences that are going to pop up on your path to highlight this for you. They're also going to give you additional information, give you additional clues, also reveal certain, key elements to you that will only strengthen what you got in that playbook. So make sure that you're looking at this in a different way, because a lot of you have been looking through the lens of everybody that's on my path is there to trick me. Everybody that's on my path is some devil, some seducer, some big sexy Satan that's going to lead me to my demise, right? But what if what's showing up is actually something quite divine that's been trying to get your attention all along? But because you've had some faulty filter on your reality tunnel, you've sort of relegated it to the realm of a tricky devil. And actually, it was there to show you something that you had not yet seen in yourself that needed to be illuminated. So you would no longer be ruled by that, held back by that, be impeded by that. And instead, it could be something that could be a source of strength and empowerment for you that will get you where you need to go a lot faster and have you arriving there not with just a meager slice, but the whole pie. All right? You have to remember, master of the hunt. Master of the hunt To you, it may seem like foolishness, silliness, tomfoolery. Oh, Spirit often teaches some of its most potent lessons through absurdity, okay? Or what seems like a waste of time. There's something about this, something that you viewed as a waste of time was actually the making of what's to come. It will mark, when you look back on it, it will mark the point that you finally got off your fucking knees and you took a stand. You took a stand for something. All right? And that's hot, man. That is sexy. This is like the staging of your personal rebellion here. And I'm hearing that rebellion is sacred. Rebellion is sacred. Let me do a cover deck here, okay? Whatever this is, you're not going to be dull-headed anymore. This is really going to get you thinking, you know what I mean? Thinking in ways you never thought before, perceiving things you never perceived before, having all kinds of creative inspiration you never had before. And this is going to be the game changer. But I think when it first hits you, it's going to sort of like, you know, catch you like a deer in the headlights, you know? Remember, master the hunt. Don't be the hunter. Don't be the hunted, all right? This is good for you. You may feel silly, you know? You may feel silly when you see it, when it dawns on you, when you have this new sense of awareness here. You may find it kind of silly. You may laugh at yourself a little bit once it sinks in. But you'll also know that that was so necessary, maybe to have a certain depth in perspective in order to truly be able to wield your power wisely and hit the mark. And this is the moment when it moves out of the place of sort of being something serious and heavy to being something more just fun, okay? Fun. So see if you can try on that perspective for size here, especially as we're heading up to the new moon. And if you're coming to this after the new moon, or if you're coming to this years down the road, down the load. Yeah. I mean, you may have had quite a load to carry, but this is going to be the point when you finally get to put the load down, man, and just make it to where you're going, get to that finish line with such great speed, and you get to freestyle it, man. You get to play it your way. And it's your ride, and you get to ride it out in style, you know. Maybe throw a few tricks in the mix of your own that has other people sort of scratching their head. How did you come up with that? You see, I learned a lot. I learned a lot in the climb. And also, you have to think about it. When you're up there on the top of the mountain, you can look down and you can see those moguls. You can anticipate sort of how you're going to have to navigate the territory ahead. This is also going to help you moving forward here. All right, let's do a cut of deck. What do we got? Ooh, I like this. See? And then you end up like old rhubarb Tony here. You got certain wisdom that you've gained, and this is what's going to earn your spot on that throne. See, you're getting the activation of that Mogul, Modus, Operandi playbook there. This is coming in for you. But it's something that's always been with you. It's always been with you. You just didn't know how to access that knowledge within you before. But you got people coming your way. Namely, it seems like first up, you got like some queen of the Nagas coming your way. She's going to take on different forms, okay? It's not necessarily one person, one situation. She's a shape-shifty energy, okay? She can take many forms, but she's that pure essence of knowledge that wants to come through for you to help you activate, access that seed of transformation within yourself. 44 and 44 on the clock. That's what time it is. Double eights. You see? It's like every encounter becomes a portal of instantaneous transformation that can take you to a higher place of elevation, just like that. In the instant that the awareness dawns on you, it's that simple. You can transfer to a different destination in the blink of an eye if you can see it in the moment that this encounter that you're having is truly divine and it's holding a seed of transformation for you. And it might not come in the typical form. Ted really wanted to emphasize that point. It might not come in the typical form. It might come in the form of old rhubarb Tony there. Just some, typical dude that actually has a lot to teach you. A lot to teach you about ancient things, hidden things, things you never saw before. And for some of you, even in the waterway that is the way of love and emotions and the heart, this is like rhubarb is the Venusian energy. See, we've had May's phase come in quite a bit, right? It's you. Your May's face. Your May's face. And you're seeing yourself through the reflection of every person, place, and thing that shows up on your path. And what you've been seeing in every person, place, or thing that's shown up on your path is some kind of tricky element to navigate, or something you don't understand how to get to the center of. And when you recognize that what's been tripping you up from getting to the center of it is the inability to see how spirit moves through each and every person, place, and thing that shows up on your path, that will be the moment that the power is truly in your hands. And once this power is in your hands, you'll crack the code. And the Mogul, Modus Operandi Playbook will open up within you. You are the playbook. You are the book of knowledge. And it's about time that you turn page.